Welcome to the woods. Now, I made a little video this morning which was just walking around up the top half of the plot and showing you some of the birds. The weather was sunny. It's been quite wet for the first part of this week, but the sun was out, birds are all out enjoying it, and it was nice just to walk around. And I came down to this little bit here, which is like a little glade, and I was going to do this video about half an hour ago, but as I sat down I noticed a nuthatch which is in a tree about 10 foot away, and it's building a nest. So I've been watching that for about half an hour, and to be honest, that's probably as important as what I'm going to be talking about, because it's good to take the time and enjoy the good things in life. And I'm going to touch on that later on in this video. And this is going to be about dualism. And the reason for that is twofold. There's dual reasons for it. And the first one is to answer a question or a statement that was put under one of the videos I made, where someone said, "So you live off-grid, but you use the internet. That seems illogical to me." Which is fair enough, I suppose, and I read it and I thought about it and I thought, well, is it illogical? Because I was definitely doing that. I live off-grid and I was using the internet. And I don't think it is illogical. It may seem that way on the surface, but I think the statement is kind of like saying, so you want to get fit, but you own a car. Well, you could walk everywhere, but to be honest, it's completely possible to both walk more, get fit, and own a car. And for me, living off-grid means different things than it does to some other people. There are some that would say that living off-grid is simply not being attached to the electricity grid, or the gas, or the water grid. To others, it's more about leaving the system. And I suppose for me it was a bit of all of that. So I'm not tied to any electricity grid, and I've touched on the solar and the rainwater collection, and I've also touched on in other videos why I went off grid, which was a dislike for the system. But I'm not naive enough to think that I'm capable of living completely isolated without any interaction with society. And nor would I want that. I'm quite a social person. I enjoy working. It may be different if I had a job I didn't enjoy, or if I had to work for someone else, but as it is, I don't. I'm self-employed. I can kind of choose the hours I work, and a lot of that is down to reducing my overheads, which living off-grid gave me. It gave me that choice. It gave me the ability to interact with the system less if I choose to. So my whole life is kind of dual. I do still work, but I live off-grid. There's a dualism to it. And I enjoy that. I do a lot of manual work around here, so I may dig with a spade, but at the same time I may use technology to power the cabin. I may build a chicken coop using hammer, nails and wire and do the whole thing by hand, and then I may come in and listen to the radio. So whilst I live off grid, I don't have to live like a caveman. I can still enjoy the refinements that I want, when I want. And I think the problem arises when people that don't live this way, that people live in society in a normal manner, think that you would have to give up everything, and you don't. I've got a washing machine and a tumble dryer. I've got a TV. Not that I really wanted one, but there is a small one in there now. So I've got everything that you've got in your house. But I've managed to reduce my outgoings by about 80%, which gives me options. That means I can work less and have more time, or I can carry on working the same amount and have more money. So time and money. And if you think about it, dualism again, time and money, those two things tend to take up quite a lot of our time. You may have a lot of time on your hands, for instance, if you're not working or unemployed, but you won't have much money. Well, you may be working really hard, 7 days a week, so you've got a lot of money, but you're not going to have a lot of time. So it's about balance then. It's about finding a balance between having enough time and enough money. And what this has allowed me to do is to increase both. So I have now an increased amount of time and an increased amount of capital, which gives me options. And the second reason I wanted to make this video was it's very easy for anyone who becomes aware of what's going on in society to become very negative, to get caught up in every single thing that's bad. And there's a lot of it, and I understand that. And I also understand that when you find out about how the financial system works and how there are groups of people operating within society trying to undermine everything that's good, that you may feel a need to wake up other people. And it struck me the other day. I was standing outside my shop, as I do quite often, with a cup of coffee, and I was talking to the people that walk past. They all know me, and I was having a laugh with an old boy who walks past every couple of days, and I was watching the traffic coming into town, traffic going out of town. A lot of people. And everyone was smiling, and everyone's generally happy, going about their daily business. And they're probably happy with their life. And I get that everyone has ups and downs, but on the whole, most people I met were happy, smiling, content. And I'd say probably 90% of them were completely unaware of most of our talking points. Very much like the film The Matrix. They were plugged into a system and didn't know anything else, and were quite happy with it. And I understand that once you look behind that curtain, once you do see what's going on, you can never unsee it. But I think we need to learn how to put it down sometimes, and to enjoy life. Even when you can see everything around you and have an opinion on it, sometimes we need to put down our perspective. Not forever, but maybe for a day, maybe for an hour. To be able to enjoy a cup of coffee with friends. Even though you know that 2 weeks ago it was a local business that closed down, destroying the identity of your local community when it was replaced with a Costa coffee, which I don't agree with, and I know you don't agree with. But sometimes to sit outside with your friends, having a cup of coffee, regardless of where, is a pleasant experience. And unless we can learn to put down our knowledge for that hour, life can become unbearable for some, overbearing to others, when all you do is point out the negative. We need to learn to enjoy the good things in life, and there's still plenty of them. Watching that nut hatch for 30 minutes instead of making a video, which I could do afterwards. To unplug from the negativity and put it down for a while. Dualism. You can never unknow what you know, but you can't let it rule your life. That's in your hands. That's why I bought this land and built this cabin, because I wanted to take control. I wanted to increase my capabilities, my options. I wanted to be able to use that system on my terms, when I wanted to. So for me, off-grid was not about leaving everything behind, but being able to dip in when I wanted to. And I hope you understand what I'm saying about the negativity that goes on. When you can see all these things happening around you, you can't let that control your life. Sometimes you just need to stop, take a breath, look at the sunshine, look at the good things. We've still got plenty of them. And then start to think how good things could be. Think of ways we can change it. I'm not sure that all those people I spoke to outside my shop, all those happy, smiling people, would ever thank me if I actually explained in detail what was really going on. They'd have more knowledge. Would they be happier? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the majority of people want to know. I don't think the majority of people need to know. I think the knowledge is there for the people who were intended to find it. What we do with it is kind of up to us. And are things bad? Yeah, they are. But you cannot let all of that negativity, all of those bad things, don't let it destroy you. There's still plenty of good out there. There's still plenty of good ideas out there. And I watch quite a lot of content. And I would say that 80% of it is based on negative aspects. And some of it's informative and worth listening to. And some of it I've been hearing for 40 years. And I understand that there's people that are new to seeing all this and need the information. But I'm kind of looking for more positivity, I think. Maybe a bit more forward looking at how good things could be. I might go back to watching that nuthatch in a minute, or just enjoying the sunshine. This has been a bit of a ramble, but I kind of hope you get where I'm coming from. So for my own life, it's a duality to it. It's I can dip into the system, I can retreat from the system. Living off grid has given me that option. And even I've had to learn that sometimes I need to put down the knowledge that I live with. I can't carry that around with me everywhere. Sometimes I just need to sit down and be with friends who aren't involved, who aren't aware, without the constant need to inform them. And Costa coffee may be shit, but it's still coffee with friends. Anyway, you lot, speak to you soon. Take it easy.